Hello, everyone. My name is Yoshi Domoto. I'm the Executive Director of the Japan American Society of Georgia, and welcome to a Japan Fest edition of Have a Coke and Tea with the Society, featuring Shirley Susilo. So, hello, Shirley. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And yes, let's have fun together. And yes, for all of you guys, feel free to ask any questions or comments on anything. Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what type of work you do, and some of your inspirations as an artist?
Well, I guess I can start from my undergrad experience. I used to go to Parsons School of Design with a graphic design major. And then also after that, I graduated. I went back to Jakarta. And then from then, I started learning comics from my sensei. She's Japanese, but we learned in Jakarta. So ever since then, I started creating comics for with myself, with my friends. But then in 2007, my series somehow won the bronze award for the International Manga Award. That's the annual worldwide manga competitions, well, essentially Olympics, run by the Japanese Foreign Ministry. And then ever since then, my work has been known by people, mostly in Jakarta. And then years after that, I've been working freelancing as an illustrator and designer. And then not until 2018, I decided to come back to the US. I studied in SCAD right now, and I'm in my graduate degree in illustration. And then starting this summer, I've interned in Japan American Society of Georgia, and then I'm also helping out with Japan Fest with all these visual creativity for you guys. So yeah, there you go.
So as you can see in all of our backgrounds, mine and also Shirley's, some of her designs and artwork. But so Shirley, you kind of went through a whole lot in your life a little bit. But before we talk about some of your work and then the manga competition that you just spoke of, we be able to talk about, I know you were born in Jakarta and now you're here in Atlanta. So how did you get first connected to Japan?
Well, in terms of connection to Japan, I mean, hell, I mean, it's been quite a long time. I mean, ever since I was small, I was exposed to anime. I don't know if any of you know this anime called Candy Candy. It's a really old telenovela style animation, mostly for girls. But yeah, I think from then on, that was really my first time watching anime, which is Japanese animation. And that was really, it really changed my life. After seeing that, I just thought to myself, oh, wow, my life has changed and there's no going back. And then from that on, I've just been really into anything Japanese, comic or animation, music, even anything. And yeah, and it's been like that for years now. So, and then now that I get to work with you guys, I'm very happy. And yeah, it's also because of Bob Johnson. He was the one who told me about the Japan America Society of Georgia. So that's, yeah, that's how we met.
Now we come full circle, right? So,
Yes.
great. Well, thank you for sharing. And then, so tell us a little bit more about your the international manga competition, the Olympics of manga. I know you got started with Japan with kind of Candy Candy and being a fan of anime, but so how did you hear about the manga competition? How did you enter and apply and compete? And kind of tell us the experience about that. And you have a story about being selected and having a big event to kind of commemorate your work a little bit, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, let me start about the entire preparation. I mean, essentially, because after I finished my manga school where I learned my comic making techniques, that's when that's me and my friends heard from our sensei. She's Japanese. She's the one who told us about this competition, and then she just decided to let us enter all of our works, and she translated all of our works into Japanese and then submitted. And then that was the first time the Japanese Foreign Ministry run this kind of competition. And then honestly, none of us expected anything out of this. And then until one day I got a phone call from Japan Foundation saying like, oh, your work got selected. And then they wanted me to write a speech for the event. And then I thought, okay, speech, event, it's gonna be a small event. It'll be just me and them and small circle of friends and families. And then when I went there, little did I know, they had a large ballroom filled with media and everyone there. And then I was really surprised. And then I remember that day, I think it actually happens either one day before my birthday or on my birthday. So I had a really bad cold at that time, as if my voice sounded like a frog. And then I was even surprised I managed to address a speech by then. And then after that, yeah, it was quite interesting. And then after that, everyone just pretty much, yeah, I've been interviewed by many people. And then the cool thing about this competition, last time I checked, they run this every year. So maybe if you guys can Google, what do you call it? Yeah, International Manga Award. Maybe they have information on it. So it's open for everyone. I mean, professionals, amateurs. So for those of you who love making comics, feel free to jump in.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing, Shirley. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have a celebrity in our hands. So everyone better line up to get your autographs on all the manga, right? So,
Oh, no.
Well, Shirley, before we kind of go on to questions from the audience, I wanted to share some of your work a little bit more in detail, and maybe you can kind of talk about the story behind all these wonderful designs that you created. So first, why don't we get started with the official poster of Japan Fest, the different designs, what was your inspiration, the story behind creating not only the Washoi One World design, but also the Shiba Inu design that you created.
Well, when I found out about the theme, Kizuna, and then WoW also, it's all about connectivity. So I feel that the shape of a circle will represent that very well, which was why I incorporated a lot of the circular elements into my poster designs. And then in terms of Shiba Wang, well, I have two kinds of favorite dog breeds. One of them is Pembroke Welsh Corgi, and one of them is Shiba Inu. So from then on, I figured, hey, I've never done any Shiba Inu works before. So from then on, I decided to create one. And then the next thing I knew, everybody loved it. So from then on, it's known, and it has a name now, Shiba Wang. So for
Shiba Wang, yeah. Yeah. Very famous character now, right? So maybe we can make our own anime out of it. But yeah, well, I actually have two dogs at home, a beagle and a rat terrier. So they're a little jealous that they weren't featured, but maybe next time you can feature some other breeds too. So.
Oh yeah.
Moving on, so that was the official posters, but you took it a step further, and the whole branding of Japan Fest this year was kind of based around the Shiba Wan and all the different characters, right? So, and you even did live drawing events featuring products from Tombow USA, and that was very well attended, and I think a lot of fun for everyone involved. But can you talk to us about how basically one character in the poster became a whole brand for Japan Fest?
Well, I just think that since due to its popularity, I just think it's only a natural sequence that it will permeate throughout the entire Japan Fest branding or merchandises for this year. And then from there, I'm actually very happy with it. And then it's another feeling, really, seeing your work being exposed in social media or websites and for people to see. So yeah, it feels like you're having a child and then it just got taken into the world and it will fly on its own. And yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a strange analogy, but that's how I see it, really. So yeah.
So everyone check out this, the bottom drawing right here, the Shiba Wan character icons 2020, right? The blue and white design. But so does all of your designs kind of start with basically a sketch like this and then kind of evolves into kind of a more complete kind of graphic with the Shiba Wan running right here, or the Shiba Wan butler for the VIP? So how does it basically go from a drawing into a completed graphic?
Well, essentially for us illustrators, or for any of you who likes to draw, actually, just so you know, it is not a sin to look at photo references for poses or hands or feet or anything really, because if you do that, your work will become more realistic and it will become more believable. So yes, just like you see, I started with a sketch like what you're seeing down there. And then from there, I did my sketch in Photoshop. So essentially with a tablet. And then after I've completed my sketches, I would bring it into Adobe Illustrator and then I would trace the line art there. And then from then on, I started coloring all the Shiba wangs that way. And yes, from then on, yeah, that's pretty much, play and repeat, repeat and repeat, repeat.
Well, you make it sound so easy, but for everyone tuning in, maybe we can ask Shirley to become Shirley Sensei and teach us how to do some of graphic design work a little later, right? So that might be our next step in the evolution of you as an artist. But everyone, please look on the Japan Fest website, the shop page for merchandise. You can purchase any of Shirley's designs on a t-shirt, tote bag, stickers, masks. We have all sorts of Shiba One characters that you can actually wear and carry on some goodies that you can buy at the Japan Fest website. And moving on, so it's not just Shiba One, right? You've done a lot of designs recently. So can you tell us a little bit about the Japan Fest Amabia and then some work you've done with Japan America Society as well?
Yes, in Japan America Society of Georgia, I've been tasked to create many promotional materials or just visuals really that would help put Japan America Society of Georgia out there, and hopefully with my work there, there will be more and more positive and interest towards the organization. And then in terms of Amabie, honestly, this was my first time hearing about it, and the concept is pretty interesting. Yeah, and then essentially what Amabie is a Japanese mythological creature, right? And then it's known to have 3 feet, right? 3 legs and a beak-like mouth. And then for Japan America Society of Georgia and Japan Fest, I decided to create their own version. So it's pretty open to your imagination. So from there, I decided to create 2 versions. And then as you can see, the one in the middle, the Japan Fest version, it's on a mask. So yes, it is believed to actually ward off diseases. Am I correct?
Exactly, Shirley. So yeah, so currently, with the pandemic going on, seeing an Amabia is actually good luck because it does warn and ward off diseases and pandemics and things like that. So let's pray to the Amabia gods and make sure that we can kind of all go back to normal sooner than later. Go ahead, Shirley.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, let's hope this entire pandemic will be over soon. And yes.
And you can actually purchase the Amabia Japan Fest mask and kind of help us out with some merchandising too. So
yeah,
not only do we have Shiba One, but we have Amabia too. So
yeah.
Finally now, Shirley, so just a few questions about your manga. So everyone, if you can look on the screen, this is Sang Sayur. I hope I pronounced it close, but yeah, so this is Shirley's manga that she created, that she won an award from the Japanese Foreign Ministry. You can see the Japanese article that she was featured in to the right. But tell us a little bit about this manga. I think I'm gonna have to read this to my kids. That this may be a good way to kind of introduce vegetables to and healthy eating to kids, right?
Yeah. Actually, I wish I had I had time to actually translate all those Yonkoma mangas into English. Maybe one day I will have time so I can show them to people here. And yeah, I mean, essentially, it's a very simple daily life story. The story about fruits and vegetable characters. They coexist with each other in this world, and then the main character is a garlic. So in these manga series, it's a garlic has a best friend, and his best friend is a fig. It's a little fig on the. I don't know if you can see. It's wearing glasses. So from then on, it's essentially very Yeah, it's very relaxing. Honestly, at the beginning, I never thought of myself creating comic series like this until one day my sensei just encouraged me, oh, just keep at it, see where I'm going with this. And then after creating 1 or 2 episodes, I just thought to myself, oh wow, this is actually pretty fun. So yes, be open-minded. That's the key.
So here's some of Sang Sayur in color, so you can see all the fruits and vegetables. So
Mm.
cute. That's one characteristic of a manga is you gotta make your characters cute, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. And tell us about the other characters. You have the sheep, the horse, and then the dragon. I think that is the years of the Chinese and Japanese zodiac, right?
Yes, that's what it is. So at that time I created, yeah, my Sangsayur characters along with the year of the zodiac year of that year. So maybe one day it will be continued. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and it was a great exposure to my work, and a lot of people like it. Yes.
Well, this year is the year of the
Yeah,
rat, right?
this is
Nezumi Doshi.
rap.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
you can
Ooh.
do a cute drawing of a rat, but I know if any artist can do it, you can do that, right? So
Okay, all right. I shall try my best.
so here's some more examples of Shirley's artwork, but
Yeah.
such a talented artist. So Shirley, thank you so much. But at this time, I've been speaking for a long time now, so I wanted to open up the floor to some questions that maybe some of our audience has. So audience members, if you have any questions, you can type in your questions in the chat box, or if you want to raise your hand, we will unmute you and you can ask a question one at a time. And Miss Shirley or Shirley Sensei, right, will be able to maybe answer some of your questions. Anyone interested in kind of asking a question? Well,
Yes.
while we wait, and maybe people are a little bit shy, but what are your future aspirations? What's the future have in store for Shirley?
Well, in my case, I will continue my study in SCAT. And then after that, yeah, we shall see where my adventure will continue. And then, yes, and I'm also actually looking forward to keep working with you, with everyone. Everyone is so awesome and very chill and very patient with me. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan in the meantime. Who knows, it may change early.
Well, we got some questions finally coming in. So, so Shirley, how long have you been drawing, and what language is Sansayur?
um I've been drawing ever since I was small, which I'm pretty sure it's a pretty common answer for someone, any creative people usually.
Like
And
2 years old, 3 years old, maybe when you were first born.
yeah, maybe like kindergarten. Kindergarten. How old are people in kids in kindergarten? Is that two? Wait, no, 2, 3, 4? Is it?
Well, daycare 3, 4. I think kindergarten is like more like 5, 6, right? So,
Yeah. So around there. So when I was small, I remember copying a lot of the my favorite comics from back then. One of them is, I don't know if you guys know City Hunter. City Hunter by Tsukasa Hojo. It's also one of my favorite manga series. So so essentially I copy artworks of my favorite characters, and then I just essentially you just keep training your hands, just like how you're riding bicycle or playing the piano. You gotta keep practicing, otherwise you'll forget, right?
that's right.
And then the answer to Sang Sayur, it is Indonesian language, if that's what you're curious about. Sayur actually means vegetable, and sang is, I'm not sure if it has any specific meaning, but it's essentially an honorific form, kind of like sir or madam.
So this is it's like saying sir vegetables or madam
Yeah,
vegetables.
I guess
Okay.
I say that.
Well, we'll have to get your manga translated into English and Japanese, maybe, right? So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe you guys can help with the Japanese translation, maybe.
So
Yes.
Shirley, I know you're an artist. You love all colors, I'm sure. Do you have a favorite color as an artist?
So far, I don't really have any, but one thing that I notice when it comes to, let's say, clothings, I have the tendency to wear bright, bold colors instead of the muted, earthy tones. So, yeah, hmm, that's a good question. Yeah, I like all colors equally, I think. It all depends on the project or depends on the topic that I need to work on. So from there also, and the target audience. So that also affects my color choices at times. Yes. Does that, I hope that's,
It does. That was a simple question, but such a complicated answer, huh?
oh my
So
God, really?
you don't discriminate with the colors. So no, you're as an
No.
artist, you love all colors. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if people wanted to kind of learn more about your work, about Sansayor or any other kind of graphic design work that you've done, or if anyone's watching from companies or other organizations that want to work with you to ask you to create flyers or posters or promotional materials or work on their logos, how would they contact you? How can people learn more about you as a graphic designer?
Yeah, people can follow me on Instagram for sure. It's Shirley.Susilo. So that's my Instagram right there. And then from my website, it's shirleysusilo.com. And then, yeah, you can email me straight from there. So, yeah, if there's, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, everybody loves social media, right?
So, yep, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget shirleysusilo.com or the Instagram, right? So,
Yes,
uh, there it
yeah,
is. Oh, there it is.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I can't point. Yep, there you
All
go,
right.
folks.
There's Shirley Susilo. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost coming to time, but Shirley, so I'm going to ask one more final question.
Mm.
Do you have, as an artist, any messages to aspiring artists or messages of hope kind of during these kind of challenging times? Any kind of last final words of wisdom that you want to share to the public?
Um, well, as an artist, I think it doesn't matter which field you're in. It's always it's challenging. So in other words, that you should never give up and you should follow your passion. And for sure, in the real world, be sure that you make yourself available to connect and don't be shy to connect with other people, because I've heard from many people that, oh, a lot of artists, they're very shy, they're introverted, so for example, in comic conventions, before I came here, I used to go to a lot of comic conventions back home because I needed to put myself out there to promote my comics or just anything really. So from then on, luckily, even though I'm an artist or a designer, I'm not afraid to speak to people or strangers, well, the good ones at least. And then from then on, it really helps, because with the meeting people, you never know what you will encounter in the future. I mean, a lot of sometimes it could be fruitful either, yeah, to you one way or another. So essentially, yes, just don't be shy and just be confident and put your work out there, because if you don't do that, no one's going to know who you are and know your work. So increase your exposure as much as you can. Use social media. Oh yeah, that's my Instagram. Oh God, I can't wait. Yes.
Perfect timing, though. Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you heard it here first. Whether you're an artist or not even an artist, make yourself known, make the best out of any situation, meet people, network with folks, expand your horizons. You never know who you're going to meet. So, doors will open. The more things you do and the more things you experience. So definitely get out there. And I know these are challenging times with the pandemic, but try to meet as many people, I guess, online these days as possible,
Yeah.
and open up your
LinkedIn is helpful. LinkedIn. Yes.
perfect. And don't forget to visit Shirley's website, shirleysusilo.com, and then Instagram, Shirley-Susilo, I believe, right? you'll come back up on Shirley's Background. So thank you again, Shirley, and we'll
Yeah,
again
thank
see
you
you
so
again
much
very soon.
for, yeah, see you around. Have a great weekend, everyone.